If only Estela Nunez could have snapped her arm in the third round and not the first. But it is what it is. We go 0 for 3 on props, and I got a little bit too overzealous with the round props there. I had some pretty good calls on the actual props for other fights, but the three that I chose for the segment did not go down, so we get reverse swept there. We're going to try to get back on track this weekend with another three best prop bets. And if you guys are watching this right now on Friday, you're probably missing Cage Warriors, which is going down right now. And if it's still early enough in the card, or if you're looking for action tonight on the LFA card, I'll have you covered with written breakdowns for every single matchup on those cards and in a lead up to the UFC London card, which goes down tomorrow. So if you want to check that out, link to the Patreon is in the description below. Don't get it twisted with the MMA Fight Archive, which is the database with direct links. Probably will go down as one of the biggest databases in the world with direct links to past fights for pretty much every fighter on upcoming UFC cards, Bellator cards, PFL, CFFC, LFA, ACA, A1 Combat, Contender Series, which starts up in a couple weeks. We got you covered. And it's going to be the largest database of its kind. Check it out. 7-day free trial available. Find out why 45 members have signed up over the last 2.5 months because they see the value in it and it helps them in their predicting and breaking down fights because of the amount of information they have available to them. Oh, and wait, there's industry professionals from managers to UFC commentators to fighters and coaches that use this service as well. Why not you if you do your own predicting and researching as well? All right. Let's get right into the three best prop bets for this weekend's card. The first of which is going to be a violence bet. We're going to go with the Chris Duncan and Yanel Ash Moose fight to go under 2.5 rounds at minus 165. Both of these guys match up to be, have somewhat of a slugfest, although they have leaned on grapple-heavy approaches in the past. However, I feel that's going to end up nullifying each other here, and I feel like they're going to end up biting down on their mouthpiece and throwing big bombs at each other, with Ash Moose likely getting his hand raised. So if you want an underdog, there you have it as well. But I feel like violence will come through no matter who ends up winning this matchup, whether it's someone getting the knockout on the feet, or if it's Ash Moose successfully getting the fight to the ground where he does great damage from on top and can find a finish there. Duncan is the side here which probably looks to try to grind this fight out, slow it down, and not inflict much damage. But I feel like Ash Moose, from a defensive grappling standpoint, will be able to shut that side of his game down, keep this fight in the striking realm, and eventually produce a finish. So under 2.5, minus 165, hit me with it. Second best prop bet that we're going to go up with is violence for Joel Alvarez. That comes in at minus 125. I feel like that this is a great spot for him to go out there and pressure a fighter that does not enjoy being pressured in Mark Diakese. We saw how he deals with pressure against a guy like Rafael Alves, and he's getting a guy here in Joel Alvarez who's going to have a 5-inch height advantage and a 4-inch reach advantage, and not to mention a crazy aggressiveness advantage considering how this guy fights. He goes out there and he seeks finishes, whether it's using his elbows and his devastating damage with his strikes, or even a slick jiu-jitsu game when fights hit the ground. I just don't know where in this fight Mark Diakese will find a place to be safe. Joel Alvarez is going to be all over him like a rabid dog, especially considering the fact that he's trying to bounce back from that shit kicking that he took from Arman Sarukian in his last matchup. So Diakese, a lot of experience, don't get me wrong, came in as a huge favorite in his last fight against Michael Johnson, but I think that's all due to the fact that he landed a combined 19 takedowns over his previous 2 wins, but they were over guys like Damir Hadzovic and Vyacheslav Borshev, who don't really have much of an answer off of their back. Joel Alvarez, he wants you to come into his guard. He wants you to try to grind him out because he'll try to throw up submissions, cut you up with elbows from the bottom, or eventually reverse that position and get a dominant position of his own. Give me Joel Alvarez inside the distance. And the final best prop bet that I got for you guys is going to be in the main event, as we got Tom Aspinall to win in round 1 at plus 100. He's finished the majority of his matchups in the first round. Not a lot of his fights enter the over 1.5 round mark either. I feel like he's going to be pissed off, ready to go, and ready to showcase his speed, accuracy, and power once again against Marcin Tybura, who has had numerous fights where he's been hurt early and is unable to, he's been able to bounce back against lower level competition like guys like Greg Hardy and Walt Harris, but going up against a guy like Tom Aspinall, it's going to be hard for him to get away if he ever finds himself getting hurt in this matchup. I fully expect Aspinall to blast him early and find that knockout finish early in this matchup. Give me Tom Aspinall round 1, and at plus 100, Let's go. That hits more often than not. So giving me even money on that, that's a no-brainer spot here. So there you guys go. 3 best prop bets for UFC London. Once again, we got Duncan Ashmuz under 1 or 2.5 at -165. Joel Alvarez inside the distance at -125. And then Tom Aspinall round 1 +100. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the segments all throughout the week. I'll see you guys next week for UFC 291 breakdowns. We got Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje throwing down for the BMF title, not to mention a bunch of other great fights. I got you guys covered with the full breakdown of the card dropping on Monday. All right, enjoy the weekend, enjoy all the action, and good luck on all your plays, folks. Peace.